In today's class, let us continue the history chapter, social and religious reform movements. Students, in last class, we discussed about the aims of Arya Samaj and also we discussed about Pratana Samaj, founder, teachings and their great contribution to reform our Indian society. And also we discussed at last about Satyashodak Samaj founded by Mahatma Jyotiba Phule and how Mahatma Jyotiba Phule and his wife Savitribai Phule reformed our Indian society and to brought a society with equality in between all caste people and men and women. Okay, now we have to discuss in today's class about Aligarh Reformation movement. Aligarh Reformation movement, it was started by Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. Okay, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan started Aligarh movement. Students, by the end of 19th century, a new wave of social and religious reformation was set in Muslim society. Okay, a new wave of social and religious reformation was set in the Muslim society by the end of 19th century. Okay, anti-British sentiments became strong in Muslim community after the incident of 1857. Okay, after the incident of 1857, anti-British sentiments became strong among the Muslim community. What was the reason for that? That we will discuss in the next class. Okay, in the next chapter, right? Why Muslims raised enmity against British? What was the reason during 1857 revolt? That we will discuss in the next chapter. Okay, as a result, they stayed away from the English education, right? Because of that enmity, Muslim community members stayed away from English education and as a result they missed many opportunities. Okay, the Muslim community members who stay away from English education, they missed many opportunities that were based on English education. Okay, the opportunities which are based upon English education, that all opportunities are missed by the Muslim community members who stayed away themselves from English education. Right? And during this period, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan attempted to start a movement. In that time, the leader, namely Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, started or attempted to start a new movement. Okay, and he established the Mohammedan Literary Society in 1863. Okay, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan started Mohammedan Literary Society in the year of 1863. Okay, and started debates and discussions on the issues related to religion, social and political issues, etc. Okay, in the Mohammedan Literary Society, he started debates and discussions with regards to religion and social and political issues. The upper and the middle class youths participated in these discussions and started realizing the value of English education. Okay, in the Mohammedan Literary Society, in that discussion, who took active part? The youths of upper class and upper and middle class people took active part and they discussed and they realized the value or the need of English education for us. Okay. Sir Syed Ahmad Khan lived from 1817 to 1898. 1817 to 1898, it was the time of Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. 1817 to 1898. Sorry, 18. Okay, this was the time of Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, and he declared that Quran is the authoritative book and other works on Islam are derived ones. Okay, the holy book Quran is authoritative book. Okay, it's authoritative book, and other works of Islam are derived ones. Okay, Quran is the authoritative book and the other works of Islam are derived from which book? Quran. Okay, that was the opinion of or declaration of Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, and he said one has to interpret one's religion according to the changing times. Okay, one has to interpret one's religion according to the changing times. Okay, and if an individual didn't interpret his or her religion according to the changing times, religion becomes sluggish, or else or otherwise religion become sluggish. This was the opinion of or declaration of Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, right? And Sir Syed Ahmad Khan fought against traditions, superstitions, ignorance and irrationalities throughout his life. Okay, he fought against traditions. Okay, he fought against traditions, superstitions, ignorance, irrationalities. Okay, irrationalities throughout his life, right? And he said, without an open mind, any social and intellectual development is impossible. Okay, if you want to get any social and intellectual development in your life, you have to be open-minded. Okay, so he said that without an open mind, any social and intellectual development is impossible, right? And he did not support the Parda system of Muslim women. He did not support the Parda system of Muslim women. He was opposed to that, and he called for the educating of Muslim girls, right? During that time itself, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan called for the education of Muslim women. He knows that what is the need of education for his society, women. Okay, he opposed the Parda system and he called for educating Muslim women. Okay, and educating of Muslim girls here. Okay, that was the point you have to note. Okay, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan also called for educating of Muslim girls. What is the need of education? He knows that for his society, so he demanded for that, and he did not accept polygamy. Right? He opposed polygamy. He did not accept the system polygamy. Polygamy was opposed by Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. Right? And all these aspects were part of his struggles. Okay, all these aspects what we discussed now are the part of his struggles. And in order to implement his ideas into practice, he founded Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College in Aligarh. Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College in Aligarh in the year of 1875. Okay, later on that college only became Aligarh Muslim University. Okay, even today Aligarh Muslim University is working at Aligarh in Uttar Pradesh. That was founded by Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. Okay, in order to implement his ideas into practice, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan started Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College. First it was established as a college, later on it developed as a Aligarh Muslim University. Okay, that institution now became, and now it is working as a Aligarh Muslim University. Okay, and he utilized this institution to spread the Western scientific and cultural ideas. Okay, he utilized Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College to spread the Western scientific and cultural ideas to his community members. Okay, and Sir Syed Ahmad Khan preached religious tolerance. Okay, he preached religious tolerance to the society. Okay, and he strived for unity among Hindus and Muslims. Okay, he tried for the unity among Hindus and Muslims, right? And Hindus, Parsis, Christians donated liberally for the establishment of Aligarh College, right? How religious tolerance helped to Sir Syed Ahmad Khan to establishment of Aligarh Muslim University or Aligarh College, that is Hindus, Parsis, Christians are donated liberally for the establishment of Aligarh College, and admissions were kept open for students from all religions. In Aligarh College, admissions are kept open for all religion and all caste people. There was no caste preference, irrespective of caste and religion. Every caste and every religion people are able to get admission. Okay, and the movement created by Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, keeping Aligarh as the center, so it is called as Aligarh movement. Okay, the movement started by Sir Syed Ahmad Khan kept Aligarh as the center. That's why it is called as Aligarh movement. Okay, these are all the important information relating to Aligarh Reformation movement started by Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. Next, we will move to one more social religious reformer and the great personality of the world also, and his works and his association that we have to discuss now. Swami Vivekananda and Ramakrishna Mission. Ramakrishna Mission, Ramakrishna Mutt. Okay. Ramakrishna Mission has provided a unique contribution to India's spiritual growth, nationalistic awareness, and cultural development. Okay. This institution provided unique contribution. Okay. Unique contribution is given by Ramakrishna Mission to India's spiritual growth, India's spiritual growth, nationalistic ideals, and also cultural development. Okay. Swami Vivekananda founded Ramakrishna Mission at Belur near Calcutta in 1897. The founder of Ramakrishna Mission, Swami Vivekananda. At place Belur near Calcutta in West Bengal in the year of 1897. Okay. Advaita Ashrama, a branch of Ramakrishna Mutt, was established at Mayavati near Almora of Uttarakhand. Okay. Advaita Ashrama, it's a branch of Ramakrishna Mutt, was established at Mayavati near Almora of Uttarakhand state. Okay, and this also founded by Swami Vivekananda. And Ramakrishna Mission was founded to carry the message and thoughts of Sri Ramakrishna. Okay, Ramakrishna Mission was founded by Swami Vivekananda to carry the message. To carry the message and thoughts of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Okay, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he was the spiritual guru of Swami Vivekananda. Okay, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was the spiritual guru of Swami Vivekananda. So, in order to spread or carry the message and thoughts of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Swami Vivekananda started Ramakrishna Mission. Okay, and Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he was a worshipper of goddess Kali and also a priest at Calcutta Kali Mandir. Okay, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was a worshipper of Kali and also a priest at Kali Mandir of Calcutta. And one has to attain moksha through dhyana and bhakti marga, that was said by Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, and his life itself was an example of this model. Okay, who want to attain mukti or salvation or moksha, one should attain the moksha through the path of dhyana and bhakti. Okay, and he himself went in that path. He went in the path of dhyana and bhakti and he attained moksha. right? And he believed that all religions advocated the same. He believed that all religions advocated the same. Okay, and he also believed that there are many ways of attaining moksha and the God. And he said idol worship is inevitable. According to Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, idol worship is inevitable. It is very essential. And he also believed that there are many ways of attaining moksha and to reach God. Okay, and we have to do idol worship. That was the opinion of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Okay, in order to spread the teachings of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Swami Vivekananda founded this mission, means Ramakrishna Mission. Okay, and Vivekananda was born in Casta family in Calcutta. Okay, Swami Vivekananda was born in a Casta family in Calcutta. He was born in a Casta family in Calcutta in the year of 1863, and he studied both Western and Eastern philosophies. Studied both Western and Eastern philosophies. Okay, Swami Vivekananda studied both Western and Eastern philosophies. Right? After studying the Indian philosophy from different perspectives, he also studied the Indian philosophy from different perspectives. After studying of that, he started preaching the importance of Indian philosophy to Indians as well as Westerners. Okay. After studying the Indian philosophy in different perspectives, what he did, he started to preach the importance of Indian philosophy to Indians as well as Westerners. Okay, and he roamed around India for about 5 years after the death of his Guru Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. After the death of his Guru Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Swami Vivekananda roamed around India for about 5 years, and due to this, he could understand the social reality of India. Okay, Swami Vivekananda roamed around 5 years to India. Okay, through that he came to know that what is the social reality of India, right? And he worked to establish a casteless society, and he could see that the society was deeply involved with caste-based discrimination, right? Swami Vivekananda worked to establish a casteless society. Worked to establish casteless society because he came to know that the society was deeply involved with the caste-based discrimination. Okay, and he also noticed exploitation, poverty, illiteracy and division among the Indians. When he was roaming in different parts of our country, he noticed the points that are exploitation, poverty, illiteracy and also division among the Indians. denoted exploitation, poverty, illiteracy, and divisions among Indians. Okay, and Vivekananda believed that the people should be educated first and then they themselves seek reformation. Okay, no one should bring reformation, that is not required also. According to Swami Vivekananda, first the people should be educated first. Okay, then automatically they themselves seek reformation. Education will show the path to the people. Okay, if the people will go in that path, no reformation movements are required for our society. First of all, individual should get education. Okay, educated individual will not move in the wrong path. They will move in a right path. That was the opinion of Swami Vivekananda. He believed in that. Okay, and he wanted legal institutions to implement appropriate rules to support reformation. Okay, Swami Vivekananda wanted the legal institutions to implement appropriate rules to support the movement or reformation. And he also wanted to people to stop following the Western ideals blindly. Right? Swami Vivekananda also wanted that people should not follow the Western ideals blindly. Okay, and he believed that it is easy, it is a duty of the religion to provide light. Okay, he believed that it is the duty of the religion to provide light to everyone. Without this, religion is itself no use. Okay, if our religion is not providing light for the people who are believing in that religion, so such religion is no use. That was the opinion of Swami Vivekananda. Okay, if the religion is not providing light, means if it is not showing the right path, then that religion is no use. Okay, that was declared by Swami Vivekananda. And the one who responds to the poor is Mahatma, and the one who doesn't is Duratma. Okay, one who responds to the poor is Mahatma, and one who doesn't respond to the poor, they are Duratmas. This was the declaration of Swami Vivekananda, Mahatma and Duratma. Okay, as a human beings, we have to respond to the problems of others, especially the poor people. Then we will become Mahatma. Okay, if you are not responding to the poor or the needy people, then we will also declare as Duratma according to Swami Vivekananda. Right? And he opposed the caste system, untouchability, and the idea of supremacy based on caste system. Caste system was opposed by Swami Vivekananda. Untouchability practice also opposed by Swami Vivekananda, and idea of supremacy based upon the caste system, that also opposed by Swami Vivekananda. Okay, and about the contributions given by Swami Vivekananda to Indian society, remaining points we will discuss in the next class. Thank you.